Well, hi kids, how are you? It's Granny Wendy. I'm doing fine. How's your summer been, kids? Pretty good? Did you guys do something special this summer? Like go camping or go swimming or go to the beach or visit relatives or things like that? Maybe someone went to Disneyland. That's always a fun place to go in the summer. Well, what did I do? Well, mostly I just stay home. I like to stay home. That's my favorite place. How many like to stay home? You like to be at home? You don't? You like going places? Well, yeah, most people do. Well, for me, I love to stay home. Home is my special place. I just love it. When I was a kid and we went somewhere like on vacation, we would go to Oregon to see my grandparents, and I started getting to where I missed home and I would start to cry because I was homesick and I wanted to go home. So that's how I was when I was a little kid. And maybe I'm still kind of like that. I miss being home. Home is my favorite place. You like to be home too? Yeah. It is most people's favorite place because you can do whatever you want at home. Anyways, I thought I'd read a book for you kids. Let's see. Here's a good one. This one's called Curious George. Who remembers Curious George? Remember, I read about him a couple times. Well, this is about Curious George. He goes to the zoo. Who has been to the zoo? You have? And you too? Yeah? Well, the zoo's pretty fun because you see all kinds of different animals. And that's also a nice thing to do in the summertime is go to the zoo with your family, huh? Well, let's see what's going on with Curious George and what he did at the zoo. Who knows what kind of animal this is? You do over there? It's a rhinoceros. It's a rhinoceros, you're right. Well, they have like a horn right there. And they're pretty big, so they could be kind of dangerous. So you have to be careful. Excuse me, I got to get a sip of water. Okay. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Can y'all see the pictures? Remember him? He's the guy with the yellow hat, and he's George's friend. I think George lives with him. Okay, let's see. This is George. George is a good little monkey and always is very curious. Who knows what curious is? Oh, you do over there? Well, curious is, well, when someone's curious, they like to get into stuff because they want to find out about everything. And George is like that. He gets into everything, and sometimes he gets into trouble. Well, let's see what kind of trouble he's going to get into this time when he goes to the zoo. Oh, my goodness. Okay, here we go. So George is a little monkey and is always very curious. Today, George was feeling very excited. The man with the yellow hat was taking him to the zoo. That's going to be fun. Let's see. As they drove, there's their house. That's where they live. And then they're driving in their car. They're going to go to the zoo. Here we go. As they drove, the man explained to George that this wasn't just any zoo that they were going to visit. It's called the Wild Animal Park. Oh. The man said, all of the animals roam around freely. Oh. Well, that's actually nice that they're free. So they don't have to be in a cage because that's not nice. So they get to run around all free. When they arrived, George saw a huge banner like that. It's a big, huge sign. George looked up at it, or he looked up at it, okay. But he could not read the words. It says, Baby Rhino's first birthday. Oh, okay. A friendly zookeeper explained, It's an extra special day here at the Wild Animal Park, she said. It is our baby rhino's first birthday. We're going to have a party for her later on. A party? This was going to be a wonderful trip to the zoo. Okay. George tried to walk into the park where the animals were, but the zookeeper stopped him. She said, No, don't go in there. You can't walk in there, she said. To explore this zoo, you have to ride in one of our special cars. Like right there. She pointed to a huge car that had no roof on top. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh my, what fun this was going to be. George and his friend climbed on board, and the car drove into the park. Here we go. Soon they were in the midst of the Wild Animal Park. Look over there, said the zookeeper. There's a pride of lions. There's some lions over there. We have a large family here. George pointed in the other direction. Yes, George, said the zookeeper. I see the giraffes too. There's the giraffes. Their tall necks help them eat leaves from the treetops. See, they could eat the leaves from the tall trees. And there are 2 ostriches running this way. There's ostriches, and they're running toward the car. Let's see. George was happy to be seeing so many amazing animals. There's some elephants right over here. Looks like a mama elephant and a baby one. Isn't that special? And there's the zebra here. Zebras. Looks like it's another mama with her baby. That's so nice. The zoo car drove past the small pond. Pink flamingos waded in the water. Their heads bobbed up and down as they walked on spindly legs. Probably long, skinny legs. Spindly, that's what they say. Okay. The flamingos turned pink because they eat so many tiny pink shrimp, said the zookeeper, but George was not listening. What was he doing? He had never seen flamingos before. He was curious about how those flamingos were moving. He leaned out the back of the zoo car as far as he could to take a look. See, he's leaning out the car to take a look at the flamingos. He leaned out of the back of the zoo car as far as he could to take a look. But then, oh, what happened? I bet he fell off. Let's see. First, George lost his balance. Then he fell, kerplunk, right out of the zoo car. His friend hadn't noticed that he had fallen. George ran as quickly as a little monkey could toward the pond. See, because he wanted to see all those flamingo birds in the water. The flamingos bobbed their heads and lifted their feet one at a time. It looked like they were dancing. George danced with them. Isn't that cute? Suddenly, the water in the pond started to move. Then a hippo popped its head up out from under the water. Oh, there comes a hippo. Ooh. Let's see. What a surprise! George stopped dancing to look. The hippo opened its huge mouth as if it were yawning. George opened his mouth wide too. It was fun to act like the hippo. He was trying to act like the hippo and open his mouth far. Who could open their mouth really big? Ah, you can? Just like that? Ah. That's kind of what a hippo does, but you could see he's got those sharp teeth. Ooh, you don't want to get in his mouth. Okay, let's see. Hippos might be dangerous, huh? Just then, George noticed that something was rustling in the reeds near the pond. The reeds was that tall grass. Ooh, look it. I bet it's that baby rhino. Let's see. George was curious. He wanted to see what was there. In an instant, he jumped over the reeds. He jumped over to the reeds. He poked his nose inside and saw a baby rhino. The tiny rhino was cute, but she looked a little bit sad and a little bit lonely. Well, I bet George can make friends with her. Let's find out. Let's see. George wanted to make the baby rhino feel happy again. He thought and thought. Maybe the baby rhino would like the flamingo dance. He jumped and bobbed his head and danced his feet up and down. The baby rhino peeked her head out of the reeds so that she could watch George dance more and more. And the rhino walked out of the reeds too. She was curious too. Okay. They were having so much fun that George didn't notice what was behind him. It looks like the lady's gonna come over there and say, "Leave the animals alone." Let's find out. Okay, here she goes. The zookeeper stomped over to George. She did not look happy. The man with the yellow hat was running behind her. "You are a naughty little monkey," said the zookeeper. "You were supposed to stay in the car. You and your friend will have to go now. You'll have to go home now." Okay. They didn't follow the rules of the zoo, so now they have to go home. That's what happens when you don't follow the rules. Rules are important. Let's see. George walked to the man's side. He waved goodbye to the baby rhino. See, there we go. The man and the monkey are walking away, and he waved goodbye to the little baby. The man and the zookeeper turned to see who George was waving to. "The baby rhino. Why, we've been looking for her all day," said the zookeeper. "She got separated from her mother." Oh, okay. So they found the baby rhino. I guess they couldn't find her before. Let's see. George was glad to see the zookeeper looking happy again. He and the man started walking toward the exit. The zookeeper ran to stop them. "Thank you for finding our baby rhino, George, and just in time for her birthday party. Will you join us for some cake?" Ah, they get to stay now for the baby rhino's birthday party. Oh, isn't that nice? Oh, good. The man and George followed the zookeeper and the baby rhino back to the zoo headquarters. The rhino's mother was waiting there for her. Oh yeah, the rhino's mom is right there waiting for her. Now she's happy. She found her baby. Okay, oh look it, there's the birthday party and there's children and there's George and they're going to have a piece of birthday cake. The zookeeper brought out a special birthday cake that was shaped like a rhino. George had never seen a cake like that before. "You can have the first piece, George," said the zookeeper. "I also have a special treat just for you." She placed a bunch of bananas in front of him. George was very happy to have a tasty banana, but he saved room for some cake too. Who knows that monkeys like bananas? I do. Do you guys? You know it, and you know that too. Yeah, monkeys like bananas. So they gave George a bunch of bananas. That was nice. George liked it. Okay, that's it, guys. That's it for the story about George going to the zoo. That was fun. Okay. All right, kids, I think that's it for now. And I'll talk to you later when I find another book to read. Okay? Alrighty. Bye-bye, kids. See you later.